Hello and welcome back. We are playing Armenia in Victoria 3. A whole lot happened last episode, and just quickly summarized, we puppeted Egypt and Iraq. We also switched from... We were trying to do, a national supremacy run where we try and offset the discrimination with having public schools, which gives assimilation. And this just wasn't working for us. We were having trouble accessing migrants. You notice here, this is a combination of coming off of that. This bump here is a combination of coming off of that, as well as getting the Intelligentsia happy again, which gives the migration attraction. But this just wasn't working out for us in terms of the laws. We were trying to make it work because we wanted to have a bunch of extra authority so that we could try and juggle around the interest groups, because the goal for the run is to have 5 interest groups powerful and have a 6th interest group non-marginalized and all at once, which is going to require us to completely juggle a whole bunch of stuff and just line everything up perfectly. But this is the goal for the run. And so we're shifting gears here. We're no longer also going to go militarized police force, because this just decreases radicals from discrimination. And this is the main difference between dedicated in terms of what you get from it. So we will not do that. We're not discriminating anymore. We are considering moving back from universal suffrage to landed voting, which of course will piss off the intelligentsia and the trade unionists, who are already really mad. So might need to try and make that transition slowly. But we could go to census suffrage, which will only radicalize the trade unionists, and make this bump, and then wait for the trade unionists to decay, and then make this bump or something like this. Maybe we could go wealth voting right away. Wealth voting wouldn't do anything. If we look at or in terms of decreasing clout of other interest groups, if we look at these guys, for example, their average wealth is over 25. So after a certain point, wealth voting does not exclude people, but landed voting does. And what we would want landed voting for is so that the capitalists just stay really powerful, because we're having a hard time keeping them powerful, but we've managed to get them back up. So we'll try and continue from here. We have pretty balanced interest groups in terms of clout. The intelligentsia is a little bit more powerful than we'd like. We built up some universities. I think this is kind of why. Then we have the industrialists and trade unionists. Also, all of our buildings became a lot more profitable, which I think is what's driving up the industrialist clout over time. You notice we had, for a long time, we were decreasing, and then we came back up. We made a bit of recovery. Also, being put in government helped them out. As they trend towards 20%, we'll be pretty happy to get this plus 20% investment pool contribution. That'll be quite a big deal for us. This has made a big difference in our economy. And then we might even be able to expand construction, re-expand construction. We had to decrease construction quite a lot. You'll notice this is during the sad period right here, where the line wasn't going burr. The intelligentsia are a little powerful. We kind of would rather they be weaker, but we can't suppress them. But we can't suppress the armed forces. The 5 groups we're going for are the rural folk, petite bourgeoisie, trade unionists, intelligentsia, and industrialists. Having all these powerful at once is going to be a trick, though, which is kind of the point of the run. To see if I can do it. This might even be the hardest run we've done to some degree. But the trade unions are... Yeah, they're big sad with us right now, and they are giving us minus construction efficiency, which kind of sucks. The stuff is getting built slower, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We currently have a lot of infamy as well from the whole puppeting Egypt bit. And so while we were planning on getting independence from Russia, in the near future, we're kind of rethinking that as we, want to... Well, we're going to annex these guys. But we want to not accrue so much infamy and get out from underneath them, because the main benefit of getting independent from their market is we can get our own market and we can add people to the market. But that's not going to happen until we're under 25 infamy, so that's kind of what we're going to wait for. I imagine these guys back down, but we'll see. And, yeah. Wow, they're improving relations? That's wild. I guess we're adjacent and they'd like us to not annex them. Or we now have an interest in the North Africa region because we puppeted Egypt. I love seeing this number go up. Standard of living's not really dropping too much, but We're paying a lot for subsidies and a lot for government wages. Might want to decrease this. Yeah, I like this. Unfortunately, the Intelligentsia aren't super happy with us, but they wouldn't be super happy even if we paid them more. And by decreasing that, we're going to decrease their clout a little bit. Obviously, we're going to make more money. But we also don't need the little authority bump, so... I think we'll keep the military wages down there. And maybe look to lower the taxation level if we need to. We do have just slightly... We're really hoping... We're waiting on next election where hopefully the Liberal Party wins. We are having some pain because the Communist Party kept winning because they were the only blocked party between two interest groups, so they're just going to crush. And we had kept on having to put them in power, so we couldn't pass any of the industrialist things, so we were just really suffering on the back of that. But now I think we're in good shape. Now we're losing a bunch of money. The temp transfer is decreased significantly. Is that partially because we're paying less gov wages? I don't think that would do that. We do get Zeppelins, so now we can go... Well, what we were wanting to do is we were wanting to do mass surveillance for militarized police, but now that doesn't matter. So I guess we can go telephones for switchboards and then do the canal thing. Kind of like that. It seems reasonable. Colombia backs down. And by Colombia, I mean now Armenia. Generally speaking, we like to not have industry in our unincorporated territory, but we're just going to leave it be for now, because we don't want to generate a bunch of radicals, unless they're not really well employed. So this place isn't well employed, we'll just decrease that. We don't want the government administrations here. So we will fire them. We would rather have the government administrations back home, and what we will do is we will increase the level of all these and set them on auto-expand. And hopefully these replace a lot of the jobs that we may have, may or may not have fired them from. And then we will fix the PMs, because the PMs will need fixing. And we can do a little bit, some more stuff as well. Don't want to accrue too much infamy, so it might just be Annex Oman, which is relatively small. They almost assuredly will back down. Our standard of living dropped because we just got a bunch more people here. And let's fix the PMs. Yikes. We'll actually delete the ones in here. Don't quite want them to have local military. We eventually want them to specialize in their agriculture, but we're not going to delete anything for now. Because they do benefit from throughput bonus, which is progressively more important. All the mines are fine, all this stuff is all messed up. So let's fix it. We might want to annex Nejd, or however it's pronounced. Who sided with Oman here? A little bit of a... Well, except I don't think the war pops off, right? Yeah, the war doesn't pop off, so we're not going to mess around with Nejd. Yeah, discipline and punish. Foucault would be proud. We can afford the interest-group malice on them, I think. Oop. Brazil sides with Ecuador. That's not us. Is it? No. I guess we'll mobilize another group, but this war should not go. So, don't really want to be running this deficit now that the petite bourgeoisie is weak and not happy with us, because we got rid of, we went to multiculturalism. Sorry, buds. Yeah, a lot of increase in radicals, a lot of this is on the back of conquering foreign territory, being conquered from a foreign territory, so, or country. But the standard of living should come up as the radicalism should decrease here as the standard of living comes up. Ooh, we also wanted to fix the PMs in the urban places because those will... Very importantly, make sure that nothing's subsidized. We're not going to turn on the bottle blowers for them. I'll do electric and rotary. I see that it makes less money, but it does make labor cheaper. Can't turn on switchboards. Oman backs down, which is why we didn't put anything on Nejd, and so now we will, I guess, just fix this one by hand. We will delete that. Sorry, you're all fired. Delete that. Sorry, you're all fired. Now you'll have to work in the fishing wars, so I guess you kind of already were. Let's increase this to get some employment going on. Make sure this is subsidized. Don't need the government admin. And we could have these guys specialize in livestock, I suppose. I think I prefer they specialize in tobacco. But I don't know if I'm going to remember that. Let's just swap the PMs and leave it be for now. Nice big Armenia. Probably stop damaging relations with them. Just save the Diplo for now. I think Italy will side against us, but luckily China's no longer involved with them, so, you know, that's good. Really, when is the next election? Man. Oh, when did this guy become the leader of the government? That's interesting. Oh no! But the Liberal... You popped out of the Liberal Party, why? No! Please. We also don't have enough authority to, like, run 3 bolsters or suppresses combined, even from with outlawed dissent, which is kind of unfortunate. So we're trying to get these guys up. But the Industrialists plus the Intelligentsia were enough to stave off the Communist Party, because we needed to keep the trade unionists down. Oh god, that sucks. Intelligentsia are going to be really strong though, but we don't necessarily want them to be that strong. Oh, just pain, man. We increased the Navy here because we had a bugged out general, but then we decided we fired him, so I guess we'll need an admiral. We're gonna recruit him, but then we're gonna recruit another guy. I guess we'll use this guy. And fire this guy. Yikes. Big yikes. How are all y'all doing on infrastructure? It could use a little bit more. Pretty much everywhere, because they're not incorporated anymore, because they conquered them. We will make sure that they're all subsidizing, they're all on electric, and they're all privately owned. There we go. Man, Russia market looking huge. We are propping them up in that regard. We did start colonizing Papua in the interim. Just wanted to put down all the colonization so we didn't hit a point where we were not colonizing and we weren't aware that we were not colonizing. Paper's doing well. Put this on auto expand. It's getting to 51. We get private schools. Very nice. Conceal property. Don't want to do that anymore. We were thinking about it. Workers' protections would make the one guys happy. Census suffrage radicalizes the trade unions, who are already really mad with us. I don't think we want to radicalize them. So I think we're just sitting tight here. Hoping for the next election. The election's 100 days. And the Communist Party looks like they're going to pick it up. So what we will do is we will, instead of bolstering the rural folk, which we can do later, we will suppress the trade unions, because once we have to put them in government after they win the election in order to, you know, for us to actually generate some, get rid of some radicals, get some loyalists, we'll need to put these guys in government, so we're going to try and get them as weak as possible before we have to put them in. And then we hope the Industrialists come to their senses and join with the Intelligentsia again. I don't know. We're really hoping that, like, that block was going to stay. Because if the Industrialists are with the Liberal Party, they're going to win. The Liberal Party has a ton of momentum. Alright, let's add to the Liberal Party's momentum. Hopefully this helps the election. Yeah, we would love the Liberal Party to win the election here. Also, now that they've broken apart, something like this would be interesting. We can't confirm here because these guys are being suppressed currently, so not currently we can't do that, but that is something we would be in the market for. As a general heuristic. Alright, let's take a look at one of these places. Alright, we want you to specialize. Maybe we should actually think about specializing these guys after. Well, these guys we could just specialize bananas. So that's all they have. But we might want to specialize these guys after we separate from the Russians market. You need infrastructure, you need infrastructure, you need infrastructure, you don't, you do, and you're fine. And you will never need another piece of infrastructure again. We're not going to build anything urban there. We don't really want these places employed, but they are employed. Are there jobs? No, so if there are a bunch of extra jobs available, we would delete these in favor of the agricultural stuff, which is what we want our unincorporated states to be. Don't want to incorporate over there because of convoy cost. to keep them in the market. Kind of want to integrate Egypt. It's going to be a while before we can. We are just sitting and chilling because we're at Notorious. Maybe once we get under 50, we go for independence. Let's try and make some friends. So who can join this play? And then we'll try and make friends with them. So Italy, Great Britain, France, Prussia. Alright, so who is your rival? Austria, Prussia, the United States. And the people who can join this play. Austria, Prussia, the United States can't, so we will try and make friends with Austria and Prussia. Buddies. Please. Which of course will increase our influence decay. Or, sorry, not influence decay, our infamy decay is influenced by our excess influence. So, why don't we see if we can get any rivals. Don't want to rival Russia yet. But we could rival Spain. I think they're already rivaling us. No, they're not. But are you guys friends with the people? Nope. They're not friends with the people we want to be happy with. The communists barely win. Interesting. We could do this. We could status quo here. I want to see what this looks like. This is the most legitimate government we can form. This would make it so we can no longer suppress the communists. But the Intelligentsia really is the problem at this point, so I don't hate this. We really want to get the Industrialists strong again, though. And the petite bourgeoisie. So I think I might stop suppressing here. And stop suppressing here. Let's double check. I don't think there's anything... So we could go up the tree to like census suffrage, but that would make our government less legitimate overall, and the wealth threshold is like not a factor, and I don't think that the literacy is too much of a factor, so this would not help us empower the industrialists. Only landed voting I think really would, or oligarchy, but I don't think we're going to swing that. And so let's try this to have a much more legitimate government. Let's decrease taxes. So now that we have a righteous government, we should help with the loyalists to make people happy. Now, we need to make these guys strong. And we'd like to make these guys strong. And they just have to get over 4%, and then they will be able to pick up quite a bit more. Unfortunately, I think they joined the Communist Party, but that's the price we'll have to pay. But I think we should see a pretty nice uptick now and downtick in radicals slash whatevers. Alright. We do, of course, need more resources. We could also, if we could take off the decree here. I think that would, maybe not be what we want to do, but we could do it. That should be a big enough queue for a little bit. We can think about expanding construction kind of soon. The investment pool is draining. But I think we're kind of close to that point. We could even take the Liberal Party out, actually. And suppress them. I don't think we need to do that just yet. I think we want to kind of rest. I think we want to take care of this radicalism a little bit. Okay, so tobacco's just way better. So why don't we just do this. And then when all these finish, we will delete the livestock ranches, all of them, which will fire people, radicalize people, but then we will be tobacco specialized. At least here. So we did kick them to the front of the queue, so they will finish first. And then I forgot we also care about this, but we'll do this. Delete that. And you can focus on livestock. Of course we have... We're doing so much to give convoys to the Russian market, which, like, they are benefiting quite a lot from. But we're doing it because we eventually want to get out, and so we don't mind being a little less efficient with creating our infrastructure, but I do think... Let's see. You're protective, you're cautious. If this guy gets off of cautious, we'll declare war on Russia. Although, we can't make quite too good use of it until we're below notorious. Look at how our pop's just gone way, way up since we since we got rid of so bad. Since we got rid of national supremacy, racial segregation, our pop's just been exploding up. Those laws are really bad. I think they're particularly bad for Armenia, though, because Armenia doesn't have a really high base pop. Like, they would be much more reasonable with Great Qing. Who are we damaging relations with? Well, let's stop damaging relations with Syria. Stop damaging relations with Iraq. We're just trying to get this number up a little bit so that our infamy decays faster. Can we rival anyone reasonable? Who is this? Great Britain's just in there. Could rival Russia. Kinda don't hate it. And now we could bankroll someone if we wanted to try and Diplo incorporate them. Which might be what we want to do with kind of these guys down here. Of course, we have to be at least somewhat good relations with them. And we want to focus on people who are adjacent to us. So let's start improving relations with them so we can bankroll them later. We'll go for the old Chile, Argentina. This is being kind of stable. People will also migrate from the newly conquered territories to like the mainland areas with all the production. Alright, the tobacco plantation's finished, so we'll delete all of these, which of course will make people mad, but then they'll flock to here, and we will build 10 more here. I guess we'll build 8 more at the front. Really cute. And then what are we going to look like for infrastructure? We'll need a little bit more, so we can build a port, I think, to handle it. What's going on? Why is this? Oh, I forgot. They don't cover rural stuff. The investment pool transfer does not cover rural. Yep. Because we're... Yep. If we were interventionalist, it would. This is a large disadvantage of laissez-faire, but it's okay. We will eat this for a little bit. Not too big a deal. Let's look at what's expensive in our market. Not electricity. Solve that problem finally. Porcelain. I guess we could build glass somewhere. Oh, it's a crime to have that on 50. This might be the spot for glass. course, will require more railways. Let's play a little whack-a-mole. We have a lot in the capital, but the capital is really overcrowded, and at some point we are probably going to want to turn off the encouraging manufacturing there, just to try and get this objective, because at some point I think we will be able to go max payment on this, and also get rid of that and have 3 either bolstering or suppressings going on, which is what we're going to need in order to hit this goal, I think. Wow, this would be a thing. It could be a thing. Let's declare neutrality on this. Do we have any subjects? We're puppeting Iraq. Oh, we have protectorates because of Egypt. So we can put them into a puppet. Let's do this. I'm expecting them to back down here. Do we really not have an adjacency? Yeah, I guess we don't. Okay, fair. I think we're researching Telephonos, yeah. Almost certainly they back down. It's interesting that the size of our loans is going to make them like more want to go to war. Oh, it's such a fat transfer now. Are the Industrialists even powerful? They're not even powerful, so this would be even higher if they were powerful. Yep. Man, the Intelligentsia really took off when they got Sigmund Freud look-alike as the ruler, who's ambitious, charismatic, and some little bit of cocaine. A little cocaine never hurt nobody. I guess we'll mobilize another and just in case here. I mean, I've never seen someone with this big a negative confidence or whatever, like go to war or anywhere near, so it's kind of why we're not gonna put war goals on the allies, and maybe we just get punished, but probably not. So you're in okay shape now. You got good employment. Wages are okay. You're gonna be good soon. And let's take a look at the SOL. It's coming up here. Still not the best. I guess we make you just bananas. And here, well, they're more than happy to have people in the logging camps. Alright, do we have available jobs? Not really, so we don't want to delete the manufacturing. We do want to delete it eventually. But we can do some of this. And this, and maybe then we'll be able to do it. We have jobs. Some chop jobs. So we can just delete the least productive of these. We'll just delete that. Go work in the chops. Please. Would love to survey the Panama Canal, but alas. Need those telephones. Turn on telephone switchboards. Really loving getting this approval rating up, which is going to help us get these bonuses. Wish there was a way for us to make them happy with us. Don't think we're going to use the assembly lines. Hijaz backs down. Okay, so we can start another war. So let's take a look at who is our protectorate. Geldali? Where are they? Where's Galdali? What? Alright, well I guess this might be the better way to find them. Said I guess this might be the better way to find them. God damn it. Forget if there's a search tool. There. Thank you. Make puppet. Just expecting him to back down, but let's just take a look. My 63, this could pop off. Probably not, but it could. Oh, our economy's growing so nicely. But just this is the story of why you go multiculturalism right here. This flat line and then this. Could also puppet Kurdistan. Or we could bankroll them. I kind of like bankrolling them and trying to just diplo incorporate them slowly. I like this. They should be pretty easy to get into our market. Don't need to chomp on the bit. Although I guess we're getting kind of close-ish to the end date, so... Time's running out on this, this unholy alliance attempt. Notably, it would, if we didn't want the... If we were okay without the trade unionists being in there, we could just go Council Republic. I think it'd be much easier with Council Republic, because you can shuffle around. Political parties disappear, and so it's easier to shuffle around, guys. And you don't, like, need to have some groups in government. Like, kind of like how we need to have the communists in government. Or, well, now we just kind of need to have the libs in government. But we're probably going to have to take them out and then suppress them. Our suppression tool is much more effective than our bolster tool as a consequence of us having outlawed dissent, so... actually, I think this affects both. Yeah, it affects both. So maybe we just are content to bolster the industrialists for now. Take a look at the clout. Well, trading... Intelligentsia has actually been coming down. The armed forces have been coming up, though. Gross. I guess we could fire the armed forces guy we hired in our time of need. Let's decrease your clout, my guys. And let's see if we can recruit someone who is a... Nope, can't. Gotta be on the lookout for an industrialist. Do have an industrialist naval guy, who is our pride and joy. But, yeah. A little hamstrung. Our puppeting of Egypt was a big greed kind of play. Their standard of living should be coming up. Yeah, it is. The telephonos are online. Armenia is probably already overexpanded, so we will not do it in Armenia proper. And I think we are going to be taking off encouraging manufacturing, so... we could go radio. Mnemonic tools is kind of a nice one. I think electric arc is kind of appealing. Could go antibiotics. I think I like modern financial instruments, considering how much of a deficit slash interest thing we're doing. Which, a big part of why we're doing this is so the industrialists get paid more to improve their clout. It's really hard to keep the industrialists strong for an extended period of time. I think next election cycle we're going to take some of these guys out, I don't know which, and suppress. Instead of working on bolstering. Rural folk are getting close to getting de-marginalized. I believe 4% is the threshold. Chile has colonized Patagonia. As in they've completed it. Ooh, we do need a port to make this work. But then we'll build that as well. Yep, not gonna... I don't think we do... Yeah, we're definitely have to stick on outlawed descent to try and make this run work. Would love the Industrialists to get powerful here. I think they're trending up slightly, just pretty slowly. What a Chad. The cocaine is really what does it for the Intelligentsia here. But this is good for us. This, hopefully we can start farming more bonuses. Man, it's just... it's because we're not getting radicals from discrimination anymore. Which is like a whole nother factor. Yeah, this like national supremacy is just so bad. Tempted to go interventionalism here though. The industrialists don't like it short term, but currently like the industrialists pay more out of pocket, which, you know, makes them poorer when we do laissez-faire. And maybe we don't need them, maybe we don't want to be getting so much money from them as we do from other pops, you know, when we're thinking about trying to keep them powerful here. Because that's the problem, is the trade unionists and the liberals are gaining a lot of the power. So, although the capitalists have decent amount of intelligentsia in them. Oh, if we wanted to weaken the intelligentsia, we could also do this. Switch from independent artists, which employ academics, which are primarily them, to bougie patronage, which is going to be more industrialists. So why don't we do bougie patronage? We'll do bougie patronage here too. Probably should be a pretty mild effect, but it's not nothing. Want to see the rise of the rural folk. Rise. The reason why we're never going bankrupt here, by the way, is because our credit is expanding faster than we're adding to the credit. But what is expanding is our interest payments, but those interest payments are getting paid to the owners of the buildings, which in this case are the capitalists, which is helping the capitalists to stay powerful. Except what we should have done is we should have stayed on, like, we should have stayed on, well, we could swap back to oligarchy, but we should have stayed on, like, landed voting. Who likes oligarchy, though? What the hell? Oh. Our armed forces boyo, who's in government, he has an ideology. Well, so he's a royalist. No, wait, he's a vanguardist? He likes oligarchy and autocracy as a vanguardist? Interesting. Maybe if we get a vanguardist in... We really like the Intelligentsia's migration bonus, but we're not even getting it anyways. And oligarchy does give the plus government size allowance. And would give a lot of clout to the capitalists. And if we swapped our oligarchy now, this guy would be stuck in, is my understanding of how that works. Okay, it enrages the trade unionists, but that's a decaying enragement. It gets rid of political parties, which we kind of don't like the political parties at all anyways. Wild. And I think it would help us get this guy up. We don't like the political parties because we would prefer to just be able to add and remove guys as we see fit. The problem is like, so this has 120 legitimacy from clout, and this has like 135 legitimacy, like total combined from clout and votes. You just have to do it like, but a lot of our votes are pretty split anyways, because we are not having like one really strong interest group or one really strong bloc. I think we're gonna go for oligarchy. I don't think this, it doesn't radicalize. Oh wait, it does. Yeah, the Intelligentsia are radicalized. I don't know if this causes a revolution. It probably does. If it causes a revolution, we'll pull back off of it. But here, let's... Yeah, we can't... It goes to plus 99, so this will cause a revolution. So let's pull back off that. Yeah, they want to join the Communist Party. Although this is an interesting situation where they got popped out because they were revolution. They were having a rev. And now this guy is the leader, so we could actually suppress one of these groups. We wanted. So we have to do this because they want to join the Communist Party, but then we can suppress the Intelligentsia, who are a little too strong, so let's do that. Why can't we suppress you? We don't have enough of this anymore, because this guy was the bee's knees as the leader. Oh, and then this guy became the leader? I don't know how this is exactly calculated. I guess the most popular person in government becomes leader. Okay. Well, I guess we're pulling it off Armenia. Sorry, this is gonna really hurt, I think. But we want that. We want that tasty, tasty authority. This would be righteous. Let's... Everything's being shook up. I mean, we can't afford the rev, but maybe we could go census and slowly do it, because this will only radicalize the trade unionists, which would pop them out of government. I think we're just going to sit for a little bit. We would want to go back to oligarchy, though. Just the problem's the rev. Which maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. And we just want to put these guys back in government so that we... Yeah, let's just put these guys back in government. And now this guy's the leader, so now we have extra authority, so then we can bolster these guys again. I didn't mean any of this. And we can put down our edict again. So you can employ again. I'm sorry. I do want to swap up. We would want to go towards oligarchy. Can't do it now, though. If we didn't want the industrialists, we could do Council Republic very easily, and it would be good. I'm not giving up on the dream, though. cannot do command economy because what it does is it gets rid of it also gets rid of capitalists. How can we go charity hospitals? What the hell? Who's trade unionists support it? Why is it? Because feminist? Do they just hate private schools? They must just hate private schools, so switching off private schools is what they like. And I think that we can survey skyscraper site here. And then we wanted to turn on the telephones, right? Did we build the telephone things? I think we did. Where did we build them? Oh, they're not built yet. Once they get built, we will see about that. Can't wait for 1.2, where hopefully they build railroads with the auto building. Can't annex anyone. How do we get back to oligarchy? Being righteous is very nice though. Like where we're currently at. The rural folk need to get in there. We could up construction a little bit if we wanted. I think I'm gonna up taxes. No, I want to keep this righteous government. That's why I'm not upping taxes. Otherwise I would. And that would allow me to build more. Gonna up taxes next period where we're gonna have like a less righteous government. No, don't fight. I hate it when mommy and daddy are fighting. We're already poor, so we just want less decay on, or more decay on infamy. But we don't want Prussia and Austria to be fighting each other. We're just war even. Yeah, that's a big war. That's gonna make them, yeah. Ugh. Just so beautiful. This, like, flat part, that was when we had a discriminatory government. Also, that's when our economy stalled out. Now we have more loyalists than radicals. On the back of this righteous government. We are really trying to get these interest groups happy again. Because the whole point of trying to get 5 powerful all at once is that we're trying to farm bonuses, right? Not much of a point if, ooh, communist guy died and we got a jingoist now. Which made him happy, which gave him manufacturer's throughput bonus. This one's huge, especially because he's powerful, so that's a big deal. Also, with them being a jingoist, they might even leave the Communist Party. Don't think that they will, but they could. It's unlikely. Could swap old age pensions to make them even happier. This, of course, would make the Industrialists sad, but not super sad. But I think that, well, okay, we can take a look. How much are we paying in welfare? 39k. Okay. Which pops are You 6.9%, nice, are taking welfare. Here 2.4% are taking welfare, and 1.4% are taking, or no, they have 1.4, yeah, are taking welfare. 2.47%. So these, the lower strata, are taking welfare more. And there are clerks, which are Intelligentsia, farmers, which are rural folk, laborers, which are machinists. So what we're concerned about is the laborers and the machinists, and, you know, empowering the trade unions, but also the peasant. We might want to swap this over just because we need the rural folk strong, and I think that maybe the rural folk just never get strong as long as we have old age, or as long as we have poor laws. But so let's try swapping old age pension. The play for power. Oh, hell yeah. Big shot. You get your power, brother. You're unhappy, but you get your power. We want you to be powerful. We want the Intelligentsia weakened. We want the Industrialists in government here. You're liked, but man, you gotta do the coke to get loved. Ambitious, charismatic, cocaine addict. Such a big event going. Maybe, like, sometimes you just want to go psychoanalysis just to pop that guy, so you can have the super powerful intelligentsia in gov. Yep, this is kind of going the way we want. We do only have another 32 years to make the alignment happen. So I think, yeah, I think once we pass this, the rural folk will get jumped up a little bit. Not super high amount, but... And maybe this is... So we were talking about wanting oligarchy. It might just be the case that if we're on oligarchy, we can't ever get the rural folk in government. Because it's really hard to have the rural folk and industrialists powerful at the same time. And we're trying to get all 5. Like, we probably could have picked an easier 5. This is probably the hardest 5 to have all happy at once. Like, landowners, church, bourgeoisie, armed forces, intelligentsia would probably be a pretty easy block to have empowered at one time. Or actually, armed forces, bourgeoisie, rural folk, landowners, church... And either trade unionists or industrialists all at once, maybe? No. The easiest one's probably... No, it's hard to have the church and the intelligentsia, right? So it's landowners, rural folk, church, bourgeoisie, armed forces would probably be the easiest 5 combo. But their bonuses are not very good. The best bonuses are industrialists, intelligentsia, trade unionists, so that's kind of where you want to be. Well, if we increase the size of our military, we could go for Beijing, for the Forbidden City, to help this clout situation. We would face the Shogunate. But Russia... Let's see... I mean, the Shogunate's like a non-factor. Actually, we did force open their market. They might have figured out how to buy guns. Yeah, they did. Public address goes awry. I think we are fine kneecapping them a little bit here. So we'll take that. Did we finish these up in this bizzle? No, we still haven't finished these. They are super loyal, so we're also getting workforce ratio, which is huge. This allows your pops to make more stuff and also consume more. Wait, are we above 96? Oh, we are, so we can raise taxes now. Let's do it. Hot. So we'll start getting out of this. From under this. Let's do a little whack-a-mole here. We'll expand this twice so that they can... Because they have more oil to extract. Those guys will need it soonish. get some soonish. I'm pretty sure I'm not maxed out there. Russian market's so big and interesting. Austria gets leadership and humiliates Prussia. So now that mommy and daddy aren't fighting anymore. Oh, you're the #1 great power. Are you still rivals with Russia? Russia considers Austria to be their rival. So we might take a save here. Oh, we might be doing this next episode. So this episode's been largely chilling and trying to get our government in order. Trying to get our government and laws in order, really, and swapping stuff up, considering new laws. You know, we tried for a hot second to go oligarchy, which we would love to do, but then we decided we're gonna pass these poor laws. We will get those through next episode. But the poor laws are going to be important. I think they're going to be important for getting the clout of the rural folk up. Again, this alliance of rural folk, industrialists, trade unionists, intelligentsia, and petite bourgeoisie is probably the hardest to achieve, but I think it gives you the best bonuses, so that's why we're trying to achieve it. And we just are trying to achieve it for a single second. We'll put them all in government, take a nice little snapshot, and we'll be cool. If we can achieve this run, this is what we've been focused on more so than anything else, not necessarily expanding or being super large, anything like this. But yeah, this is what we've been working on. This particular episode's just been kind of more chill and reevaluating our laws in the context of what's going on. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.